The SIU has uncovered shocking levels of corruption at Tembisa Hospital, and what they found is nothing short of criminal. Imagine a public hospital struggling with broken equipment, medicine shortages, and staff under pressure. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, billions were flowing into the pockets of ghost suppliers, fake companies, and inflated contracts. Not only that, but bogus invoices and what's that, the cherry on top, you might say. That stolen money was being splurged on luxury cars, designer clothes, and multi-rent mansions. This is in a Netflix series. This is South Africa in 2025. The Special Investigation Unit revealed how non existent suppliers were being paid for services that were never rendered, from overpriced gloves to maintenance that never happened. And some of the companies, yeah, they were linked to individuals inside the hospital, creating a corrupt network of insiders and tenderpreneurs. One of the officials reportedly approved hundreds of contracts within hours. No checks, no balances, just a pipeline of public money straight into the private hands. It's not just financial mismanagement, it's state sponsored theft. And the people paying the price for all of this is us, ordinary South Africans. Tembisa Hospital should be saving lives. Instead, it became a playground for looters. And while the corrupt individuals live large, patients are left waiting in overcrowded clinics with no medicine, no dignity, and no justice. This scandal is bigger than just one hospital. It's a symptom of systematic and protects the powerful while failing the people of South Africa. We need answers. We need accountability. And we need to remember the name of Babita Deokaran, the brave whistleblower who tried to stop this and who was murdered for it. Let's honor her legacy by refusing to stay silent. Let's watch the following clips.
You are not angry enough. We, as a people, are not angry enough. I'm angry that we fight over such petty things. We fight over color, foreigners, or foreign owned spaza shops. Yes, there are some issues there. But the fact that we fight over that versus what's going on that is so much larger, it is our fault for putting all that effort into fighting against them, the foreign owners, fight against uh, colored identity versus white identity versus Indian identity, and not realize we are South African. You don't realize that we have a common problem. I'm angry that we fight over the most stupid things. You all know what happened to her. This is Babita Deokaran, who raised alarms at Tembisa Hospital procurement because there were irregular payments going out that ranged from millions upon millions. And when she blocked it, she knew her life would be in danger. She informed the CFO. They did nothing. And then a few months later, she was taken out. There are good people who are trying to do their jobs, but they can't because the criminal entities are much larger and more powerful. And they get away with it because you and I, on TikTok and everywhere else, we fight over foreigners, we fight over skin color. That's a shame. Because the latest reports have come through. The report shows what Babita was trying to tell us. 2 billion rands was looted from one public hospital, just one, in a matter of few years. These were the players. Third one being X. We don't know who that is. Very likely a high-ranked politician. That's why he's not being named, or they are not being named. 2 billion rands. Tell me again, is the Zimbabwean or Namibian or Malawian worker the real problem? I ask you honestly. What do one of them do with that money? Look at this. 4 Lamborghinis, 1 Bentley. Oh my God. 250 million rands in just car purchases. Willy-nilly. From public hospital money. We have women who are giving birth on the floor because of not having enough beds, or they're dying because of a basic cut and they don't have antiseptics. We have to rely on very expensive private hospitals because the public hospitals are being ruined. And they're being ruined because you allow it to happen. You are not angry enough. We are angry and we fight over the wrong things always. I mean, look at this. 520 million rands in just identified assets with properties worth 290 million rands. And you're fighting over skin color and foreign IDs and what. There won't be justice until you say there must be. They will just put this under the carpet and carry on. Unless you don't let them. Unless you take action.
What happened at Tembisa Hospital and the theft of this 2 billion rand is not just corruption, but amounts to treason. Do you agree?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's high treason. That's why, Tembekile, I said, when you look at what they've done, look at what they've done with the money, the Maumela syndicate, because there were three, bought Lamborghinis and all sorts of luxury cars, which I don't think add any value to anybody's life who is a normal human being. And then children, pregnant women, and poor people suffer. That's high treason. That's why I use very strong words today, Tembegile. I said, when these type of things happen, you start appreciating why the Chinese do what they do. You are aware that when you do this type of thing in China, they actually remove you forever from society because they no longer regard you as a worthy member of the human race.
Are you suggesting that this is the sort of crime that would be better suited by the death penalty, Minister?
Well, the death penalty, Tembekile, is not allowed in South Africa by our constitution. But I argued strongly that we have got a national dialogue where we want to reset. And I said for three groups of scoundrels, three groups of individuals, I'll certainly support it if it's put on the table. For those who rape and kill babies, even 3 months old babies, for those who torture and butcher women in the way that we've been hearing, and for those who steal money in the manner in which, I mean, from public coffers and buy useless things in the manner in which it happened at Tembisa Hospital, I'll certainly support it.
This is corruption at a staggering scale. Tembisa Hospital, 2 billion rand siphoned out of it.
There were transactions that were done, the POs, but the modus operandi was that they would do all these transactions. They are not necessarily tenders. They would just do transactions that are below 500,000, and they do many of them to the point that it reaches 2 billion rand.
Let me just interject this, so just so that we understand the terms of these officials. You're saying there are about 15 officials that were helping these criminals loot the money, and they were receiving to the value of 115 million rand paid out to these officials, 15 of them. 122 million rand paid out to these officials. When you're saying clerk, these are all people that are working at Tembisa hospitals.
Some are in Tembisa Hospital, some are in the Department of Health in the province.
I don't even know if I want to call him businessman, but we've got, the Maumela businessman, the Maumela syndicate that's linked to businessman Hangwani Morgan Maumela.
He generally got the biggest chunk of this 2 billion rand. I think over 800 million went to this syndicate. And then he bought properties. There were properties to the value of one of the properties in Bantry Bay he bought for 75 million. And he then, cars alone, he has bought cars to the value of more than 238 million. Cars alone. And then the others are properties in KZN, in Gauteng, in the Western Cape, Thames Bay, and all of those places. All of those are the properties that this particular syndicate bought.
People from Tembisa can agree with me, Ukuti, this is how the hospital in Tembisa looks like. There is this section that was burned down earlier this year in a fire. There's this section that is abandoned because in such a poor condition, so patients are not allowed to use it. And the ANC government thought, well, you know what? Let's steal money from them. Let's steal 2 billion rand. That 2 billion rand could have repaid this section and many other sections that are in poor condition at Tembisa Hospital. And I know Ukuthi bakhona abantu base Tembisa who can agree with me Ukuthi they have lost loved ones in this hospital. And I'm going to be honest with you, your loved ones died because the ANC thought Ukuthi buying life-saving medicines for them or hiring enough nurses to save their life was not important. They thought Ukuthi buying a Ferrari was more important. That 2 billion rand could have helped many sections of this hospital. But no, the government thought, you know what? If Ferrari was more important than the lives of people from Tembisa in Midrand, because this hospital is used by a lot of people in Tembisa and a lot of people who can't afford medical aid in Midrand. As someone who has been to Tembisa Hospital, who has seen the condition of that hospital, it's so sad to find out that 2 billion rand is stolen. And I'm asking you, Tembisa, don't you ever vote for that ANC? No matter what the candidate of the ANC promises you in a municipal election, ninga pinde ni niki chance. Ninga pinde ni niki chance. And I'm going to ask you guys, do it in memory of the loved ones you have lost in this hospital.
This is the crime scene of 2 billion rand looted. This hospital, which is meant to cater for the poorest of the poor here in Tembisa, was captured by cartels who bought supercars and mansions. Hi, I'm Hasina Gori. Let's debrief how businessmen became billionaires at this derelict hospital. Walking to the hospital, one can see the ringlet. Its accident and emergency unit was damaged after 2 arson incidents this year. The hospital has capacity for just over 800 beds, leaving patients in corridors and waiting long periods for help. While there's been some upgrades, the infrastructure remains archaic with outdated equipment in multiple areas. This broken hospital became the center of corruption. This week, shocking news emerged that 2 billion rand intended for the hospital was used to fund extravagant lifestyles. These were not amateurs, they were masterminds.
The SIU is reviewing 1,728 bundles worth 816 million related to the Maumela syndicate. 3 of the companies that were awarded contracts to the value of 13,538,292 in this syndicate are linked to Vusi Muzi Matlala.
Corruption is not a victimless crime. The politically connected individuals who ransacked this hospital caused lives to be lost and critical care to be denied. Those who tried to expose the wrongdoings were also murdered for speaking out. This report alone is not enough. Arrests must follow.